You tuned in to the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. Just want to let you guys know we will be uploading new shows and lectures this week or by this weekend on Ustream.tv. Got a lot of things happening. Got a lot of things that we're putting together. And we hope you can join us on the Iceman Show on Ustream.tv/The Iceman Show. Come by and join the crowd. Be on the lookout for You Gotta Wash Your Ass. And brothers, you need to stop whining about these women. What I wanted to talk about real quick for this video. Oh, before I get into that, I wanted to drop something on y'all. You know, I get these emails from young brothers who are at the end of their rope as far as dealing with an ex-wife or ex-girlfriend and child support. So this week I've been talking to some brothers, some of the guys who are going into this venture that I've launched about 6 months ago. And we've been talking, and the one thing that I'm getting from a lot of the young players is that they're under a monumental burden of paying child support for one child or two children, and in some cases 3 children. And what I had suggested to the brothers was that we need to find a way to help responsible, hardworking brothers get caught up on their child support. And so what I proposed was helping out brothers who have a steady income. If you are disabled, if you're totally disabled, either through the VA, the state you live in, or the Social Security Administration, you have a job, or you're in laid off status and you're receiving unemployment insurance or unemployment benefits, we want to step in and help you out. Now, one of the reasons why we're not going to provide assistance to brothers who are behind on their child support and they don't have a job, well, I think that's clear. It's clear why we're not going to help you. And we're not going to help you because you haven't figured out how to help yourself. If you cannot find a job, then you need to make a job for yourself. You got all these fucking whiny ass fucking Americans sitting around talking shit, talking about, oh man, I can't find a job. I can't find this. I can't find that. Well, if you're not finding a job, there's 2 reasons why you can't find a job. One, you don't have the skills that these corporations want or need, or you have outdated, obsolete skills that they don't need or want. Or the second option is you don't have any skills at all. So you fall in one of those categories if you don't have a job. Now, if you have some kind of skills that you can market out here to make money, then you need to be starting your own business. You dig? You tune into the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. You need to find some kind of way to feed yourself. Because here's the thing. The government is not our friend. The state governments and the federal government is not our friend. Okay, on one hand they say we don't want you to depend on us, but then on the other hand they want you to depend on them. So the question must be asked, which one is it? Okay? They want to put you in a position where you're dependent, but then they're going to turn around once you dependent on them, they're going to find a way to cut your ass off. I don't play them kind of games, man. I don't do that. I don't play them kind of games. I don't play those kind of games. Okay? I don't play them kind of games. I don't want to be dependent on the government. Now, because of my military service, yeah, I get checks for the rest of my life. That's a different story. So guys, if you're a disabled vet or you're on Social Security Administration disability insurance, you at least have that coming in, and if you owe less than $10,000 in child support, then what we're going to do is we're going to set up a fund where people can donate money to this fund, and we're going to help you get out. We're going to help you get caught up on your child support one time. One time. After that, you're on your own. Now, it's going to take us about 3 or 4 months to set this up. I would like to set this up before Christmas. I would like to have this program up and running before Thanksgiving. But there's no guarantee, because there's some things I'm waiting on with the feds, and they haven't come through yet. So, we're kind of in a holding pattern right now to a certain degree. But that's what we're going to do. Since they've set up a child support system where these women don't get audited and they're not held accountable for the money they have coming in every month, then what we're going to do is help brothers get caught up. That's what we're going to do. But only if you meet the criteria of having a job, being in laid off status, and you're getting unemployment benefits, you're disabled, either VA or you're retired military, or you're disabled through your state, your respective state, or you're working. Those of you niggas who ain't working and you sitting on your ass and you talking about, hey, Iceman, can you help me get caught up on my child support? I owe $18,000. Are you working, brother? Are you working? No. Are you trying to find a job? Man, I ain't found nothing, man. Well, what are you doing? Man, I'm just over here at my brother's house. I'm like, well, we're not helping you because you're not helping yourself. So don't expect us to help you. Because once we pay your child support off, you're back being in arrears again. Why? Because you ain't trying to find a job. Now, I know there's a lot of people who say to me, Iceman, you're a little too hard on people. There's a lot of brothers and sisters out here hurting right now. I understand that. But how long you going to sit around hurting and not trying to come up with a plan to fix your finances? You live in a country where you need to find a way to pay your bills and take care of yourself. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to feed yourself? How are you going to get out of your brother's house? How are you going to get out of living at your mother's house? How are you going to get out of living with your girlfriend and she's the only one working? You ought to be embarrassed, dude. You ought to be embarrassed. Like I said, I understand that we're dealing with trying times today. I understand that. But I also understand that I have always been a hustler. I've always been able to grind. Even when I was 10 years old, I was out there hustling, trying to get paid. And I came home with money in my pocket. What's your fucking excuse? So that's what we're going to do, people. We're going to set up a program where we help get brothers who trying to help themselves pay off their child support. And we're going to start with people that owe $10,000 and less. And then from there, we're going to go from there. Now, obviously, once we get this set up, we're going to have to get private information from you. And we're going to have to confirm everything because we ain't going to get hustled. You send me a bunch of phony documents, you can best believe you ain't getting a check. Because we're going to call and check on your shit, and we're going to call the gut friend of the court or whoever, the family court or whoever it is in your county and state. We're going to call them motherfuckers and find out what's popping. And if your information don't check out, we ain't sending a check. Because we're not going to send you the money because you ain't going to do nothing but fuck off the money and go to the strip club. Or should I say the script club. Okay, we know you're going to fuck the money off. So we're not going to send you the money directly. Now, whatever information you share with the Iceman and my company, we will not share your information with anybody other than you. Okay? And the only communication we're going to have with the authorities is sending a check and confirming everything. Okay? So we're going to help you get caught up on your child support, brothers. But what we're not going to do is get played. So if you think you could come up with a hustle and a caper to get over on the Iceman, and then we just cut you a check and child support just get paid, and the check actually went to you and you went and fucked it off. Oh no, that's not going to happen. Oh, we ain't going to get gamed like that. You can believe that shit. We ain't going to get hustled. That's how it goes down, baby. You dig? You tune into the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. I wanted to get y'all caught up on a couple of little mini stories that I wanted to share with you before we got into the crux of this video. You know, I find it amusing that some people in my family think it's okay to send me text messages or call the Iceman and ask me to do shit for people. Now, it's bad enough they ask me to do it for family. But then this one particular family member texted me about helping a childhood friend of his who I really don't like anyway. I mean, this is a typical Bojangle ass nigga who ain't doing shit. I mean, it's a guy in his fucking 50s who is sitting around with the attitude that he can always bum shit off of people. This is the guy that we'll go meet at a bar and he expect my relative, his best friend, to pay for his drinks. And I'm just like, dude, that ain't finna happen. I remember one time we went to Rudolph's, that is one white bar and restaurant that actually has pretty decent barbecue for some white boys. And we go over there to Rudolph's, and we go over there, and this stupid motherfucker, I ordered some wings. And this motherfucker like, hey, Ice Man, let me get some of them wings. This dumb motherfucker up here talking about, hey man, let me get some wings. I gave that nigga one wing. Then I ate the other 5, and then I ordered some more. And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna get these wings, and I'm just gonna eat these wings, take my ass on. Now it was me, a couple of my business partners, some Kappas, my relative, and then this dumb nigga. And he the type of nigga that'll go to the bar, somebody will buy him a drink, and then he'll say, hey bartender, somebody drank my drink. And we be sitting up here looking at this nigga like, man, you ain't gotta do that, man. I mean, this nigga is sad. Okay? And I mean, he just embarrassing, man. Like, man, you just a Bojangle ass nigga that ain't doing shit. I mean, this nigga is pathetic. And so my relative gonna sit up here and send me a text message talking about, hey, when you coming back up here to the Apples? I said, hey man, I ain't in no rush, brother. You know, I got some people. I got some people to do and some things to see on my way back up to the Apples. I ain't rushing up there, man. You know, plus I'm gonna go see my kids. Oh man, you know what date you gonna get? Man, hey, motherfucker, I ain't gotta tell you what date I'm getting up there. And right then I knew some shit was afoot. Then finally he comes send me a text message talking about, hey man, such and such need a place to stay. I was like, how the fuck is that my business? How the fuck is that my problem? What I want to know is how you figure it's okay to ask me to help a nigga that I'm not responsible for. This nigga ain't family. I mean, he a good-hearted dude. Don't get me wrong. He ain't a bad guy. He's a fucking idiot, and he has alienated so many fucking people, man. Just being a dumb nigga. Now he sat up here and followed some bitch around who keep leaving town. She's some old New Orleans chick. She keep moving up to the Apples and then moving back down there to Shreveport or the NOLA, wherever the fuck she from down there in Louisiana. She keep moving back and forth. She'll come up here, get a good job, work for a while, live up there in the Apples for like 2 or 3 years. Then she'll turn around and move back to Louisiana. Now this last time she pulled that shit, she been down there, she ain't never came back. Now he's lived with this chick a couple times, and they actually were doing pretty good for a while. They had bought a house. He had a good job. She had a good job. They were doing very good for a while, but then they just start being niggas. But see what it is this nigga's a football coach. He a part-time defensive back coach, and he got laid off after 2 years of work. And I told that nigga, I said, hey man, why don't you just find a career, dude? You need to. I told him before I came down here to Stank Antonio. I told that nigga, I said, hey man, you better pick a career and stick with it. If it's shoveling shit, you need to stick with them shits and stop bouncing around this motherfucker, living with my relative, your best friend. You know, and every time I fly up there, my relative's like, hey man, such and such can't live with me no more, man. That nigga up here living in a motel now. I say, hey man, take that nigga down there to the homeless shelter and say, hey man, this is what you need to do. He talking about what? I said, does a nigga have a job? Yeah, he got a job. I said, well, fuck you calling me for? What you texting me for? What I'm wondering why you think it's all right to tell me this nigga need a place to stay. That nigga ain't living with me. Now, if my relative needed me, he said, hey, me and my wife breaking up for a minute, I need a place to lay my head. Oh, I'd hook him up because he done hooked me up. But don't think, I owe your ass forever just because you did me a couple favors. Nigga, I done you favors. Because it seems like every 2 or 3 weeks that nigga text me, hey man, are you coming back? I'm like, yeah. You don't need to be hanging your hat on nothing I'm doing. I ain't in no rush to get back up there. Yeah, I would like to get the fuck out of here tomorrow, but I can't do that. I got to tie up all these loose ends that I got swirling around this sorry motherfucker. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is you talking about? I ain't finna sit up here and deal with no dummy shit. I ain't taking care of nobody, man. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what is happening to black men and black women who are trying to be dependent upon somebody else. And let me read some of the statements that one of the players had written, and this brother has written some very profound stuff. And he doesn't respond. He doesn't always respond to my videos because obviously a lot of you guys are busy, living your lives. He doesn't always respond, but when he does respond, I really pay attention to what this brother writes because he usually writes some very deep stuff. And his username is GM Williams FUL. And he wrote some stuff, and I'm trying to find the first one he wrote. I'm trying to find the first comment he left because what he wrote was so on point. And he was basically, giving big ups to the brothers and sisters out here who have gone to school to get their degrees. And how we shouldn't feel bad about going to college and getting our education and doing our thing. And I found it. Here it is. It was a response to my Black People, the Self-Hating Continues video. And let me read what this brother wrote. GM Williams FUL. This is true, Mad Voodoo Man. Low-income black people are the way they are because they want to be the way they are. They want to be thus. This is obvious. Poor black people have a pathology of anti-achievement and fatalism, and that is evident in the generational poverty which is apparent in low-income black neighborhoods. Lower-income black people have more children than they can afford, thus the poverty cycle continues. Lower-income black people are pathetic. Books are an anathema in the low-income black community. Oh, brother, do I agree with you? Oh, do I agree with you? Let me read another comment that he left that was prolific. We educated blacks don't owe the low-income black person anything. While many of us sacrificed for our education and success, the average low-income black was partying and having a good time. Oh, brother. Oh, I'm going to speak on that in a minute when I get done reading this. In essence, they practice immediate gratification instead of organizing and strategizing for their future. One reaps what one sows. Let them starve. They don't want anything, and if they did, they would be middle class and educated like us. Have a good day, Iceman. They don't want anything in life but to be owed a living. I'm going to touch on that, but let me touch on what my brother wrote when he said about why blacks like the Iceman and like this brother and Madam Reeves and Human Paradoxes and Logician 3 and some of the more prolific and progressive brothers and sisters, Sly Ray and a couple other folks. Let me touch on what this brother wrote when he said while we were doing our thing, getting educated, these black folks were bullshitting around and partying and having a good time. And it's just like, I think Human Paradox said this, or either him or either Logician 3 said this, or Lafasil said this. Dumbass niggas, po-ass Americans and low-income Americans spend all their money on shit they want. But then they cry to the government to pay for the things they need. And I thought that was, I think HP the one said that. And you know what? That shit makes a lot of sense. While I was down here for 3 years getting my motherfucking ass kicked, or over a decade ago getting my ass kicked for 2 years in that MBA program, all the other niggas was sitting around holding their dicks, bullshitting and farting and carrying on. Or while you were in an HVAC program learning how to work on heating and air conditioning systems, your punk ass buddies was sitting up here going to the club bullshitting and going to the bars talking about, yo, Tim, where you at, man? Why you ain't with us? No, Tim got to study for an exam tomorrow because he's trying to have things. While your monkey ass is at the club begging bitches and lying and carrying on and acting a goddamn fool and don't have shit to offer nobody other than some short-term gratification. And just like this Bojangle ass nigga that is best friends with one of my relatives, this dude is in his 50s. He 20 years old, like some of y'all. This nigga is 50 plus. Okay? And he up here working a minimum wage job. See, one thing that pisses me off about my relative is that he won't tell me what this nigga do for a living unless he making some decent money. Because I remember one time about 4 or 5 years ago, I asked, I said, hey man, what's your boy doing? Oh, he working at a group home making some decent money. I said, okay, cool. Then he went and fucked that job up, quit that job, or he got fired, one or the other. Then he got a job working for the local NAACP. He fucked that up. Okay? Now he working at a convenience store. I think he working at a Holiday. Okay? So he's working for the Holiday convenience store chain, making $8 an hour. Okay? Working all kind of crazy ass hours, working all night and all that old kind of shit. Cause all they do down here is ride up on them all night convenience stores around here and just straight rob their ass. If it ain't Mexicans doing it, it's brothers. That's all they do down here. Anyway, this silly ass nigga, he got that attitude somebody owe him something. And even my relatives, man, the ones that been calling me asking for favors and shit, I even said to them, look, man, I just went through a very difficult goddamn program, and you think I'm going to sit up here and just open my fucking heart, my wallet to help you out? While I was getting my ass kicked down here, you was up there in the Apple's buying bitches drinks, and you got a family at home, you got a wife and kids at home, and you out here giving some bitch some money. But now all of a sudden the Iceman done with school and he getting some paper. Now you want me to help you out. Well, it's not gonna happen. And you know, them niggas, I ain't gonna say nothing to nobody till I get up there. I ain't said nothing to nobody while I'm down here because I don't give a fuck. Actually, I ain't gonna give a fuck once I get up there. Okay? I'm not gonna say nothing when I get up there. You know, he was like, man, you know, last time I was up there, but one of my relatives, he said to me, hey, oh man, I bet you gonna come back to town, not even tell nobody. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I ain't telling nobody nothing. I might be up there a month before I even tell them niggas I'm there. Because I don't want to be bothered. Like I said, man, I ain't going to be sitting up here. I won't even help my siblings out. Do you really think I'm going to help some cousin out? Shit, no. I damn sure ain't helping no lazy ass, Bojangle ass nigga that ain't doing shit. 50-year-old nigga sitting on his ass depending on somebody else. Like I said, black people didn't need government services before the transatlantic slave trade. All that shit came to be after the fucking transatlantic slave trade. Okay? Now that they made niggas dependent, now they gonna suck your ass in, and now they gonna cut your ass off. And that's why I keep telling all these brothers that the government ain't playing. They already talking about cutting SNAP benefits. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, man, it's some motherfuckers gonna end up on the street when they cut them food stamps. It's a whole bunch of niggas gonna be on the streets. Okay? I swear to God, man, Michael Vick, I thought the Eagles was gonna start looking a lot better with having Chip Kelly as their coach. Them motherfuckers look like the fucking football version of the Bad News Bears. Motherfuckers look pitiful, man. Anyway, these you know, I know I had to make this video because there's so many of you who don't believe fat meat is greasy. And you're going to put yourself in a position where you're going to get left out in the cold. Okay? You're going to get left out in the cold, man. While we were working to get our education, you were still laying up in pussy every night bullshitting. While the Iceman and all these other brothers and sisters were working their asses off and trying to make something happen. What were you doing? Jacking off. Now that shit's starting to get deep around these United Snakes of America, now you're going to start getting worried. So now you're trying to find some relatives to live off of. Man, ain't nobody living off me. Okay? What I eat, or should I say, what you eat, you're going to pay for. What you eat, I'm not going to take a shit for you. Okay? And I'm not going to put no food on your plate. Unfortunately, you got a whole lot of brothers out here and a whole lot of sisters. Really, you ain't no brothers and sisters if you act like this. I'm telling you, man, you're going to be ass out. And there's one thing I was thinking when I was looking at looking at the news earlier when they were talking about cutting motherfuckers off of welfare and shit like that. Um, you, you, I'm telling y'all gonna run into some serious problems, man. I don't feel bad about being upper middle class or upper class. I don't feel any guilt or anything about being where I am today because I worked hard. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad at all. You know why I don't feel bad? Because I worked my ass off. I know I worked my ass off, and I don't owe anybody anything. Now, I do owe my children something to a certain degree, but I don't owe anybody else anything. Okay? I sleep good at night knowing that I don't owe nobody shit. Okay? And let me just say something about black owned businesses real quick. Because somebody has sent me a message talking some shit. Let me explain something to you. To all the niggas that like to leave messages calling somebody sellout, or this black guy or this black woman don't do nothing, this motherfucker's a coon, this motherfucker don't do shit. Let me explain something to you. There will be no black-owned businesses, especially black-owned businesses that serve black people directly. There will be no black-owned businesses if there's no black support. Okay? There will be no black businesses. This is one of the reasons why all the businesses I've ever set up, from my first business up until recently, this is one of the reasons why I have set up businesses that I don't have to depend on the black community for a goddamn thing. And you know why that is? Because if I depended on black people, I'd starve. Because that's how sorry black people are. You dig? And I was looking at something, I don't know if it was on TV or something I DVR'd or whatever. I don't even remember. But I do remember something coming up where they were discussing black businesses, black owned businesses. And let me just say this to all the brothers and sisters, all my listeners. Let me say something to you. If you don't support black owned businesses, how can you sit up here and call them sellouts when you don't support them? Case in point, today they announced on the news that the new Grand Theft Auto game grossed $500 million in sales in one motherfucking day. I think they said they sold 6 million copies. Now, obviously, this game is $50 fucking dollars. Now you'll go out, I guarantee some of you morons bought that game. Now you'll go out here and buy some old Grand Theft Auto video game for $60. You'll go spend $60 on that bullshit, putting some money in some racist asshole's pocket. But when it comes down for you paying for a subscription for $29.99 to get some information that you can possibly use to fix your fucking life, or for you to even listen to Tariq Nasheed's show, his pay-per-view show, to pay whatever he's charging, or whatever the case may be. You're not willing to spend any money on anything that could help you get out of the condition that you're in. But yet you'll take your hard-earned money and go over there and blow all your money on a $50 or $60 fucking game that ain't doing shit for you. Okay? You should see the racist assholes that are game designers. Okay? As a matter of fact, they making fun of motherfuckers like y'all on them goddamn games. Okay? You're going to sit up here and go waste hard-earned money on that old weak-ass fucking video game bullshit that ain't putting no money in your pocket, but then you going to whine about, I got niggas sending me messages, oh man, that's fucked up, Iceman, you charging. Yeah, nigga, I am charging, and I'm going to keep on fucking charging. Because the real niggas who are buying the subscriptions are getting the help they fucking need. While you sitting on your monkey ass buying Call of Duty and all this, and Call of Duty Ghosts and all this old bullshit, and Madden 25, you spending all your money on that shit. Ain't now one of them games that you bought created one fucking job in your community. But yet you gonna sit up here and talk shit to me. I'm sitting up here trying to sell you knowledge. And you don't want to hear that. Yo, man, Iceman, you like 7 and 7 with his old fake ass up here talking. Oh, man, you ought to be trying to help brothers for the kindness of your heart. I'm unsubbing. Well, fuck you, nigga. That's why you living with your mama. I guarantee the toilet tissue that you wiping your ass with, your mama bought it. While you sit up there and work at Foot Locker and spend all your money on bitches and video games. Old ass 25-year-old nigga still sleeping on a racing car bed. Nigga, you done had that bed since you was 8 years old. Niggas legs hanging all out the side of the out the front of the out the foot of the goddamn bed. Because you're too old to be an old grown-ass 6-foot-tall man sitting up here sleeping in a racing car bed for an 8-year-old fucking kid. With your failure to launch ass. You gonna whine about some paying $29 for some knowledge to help get you out of the condition you're in, but then you gonna blow all your money on a date with a bitch that won't even give you no pussy. Or you sitting up here spending your money on video games. Okay? It's just like this old loser Asian chick that I met earlier last week. Oh, slacker ass bitch. Yeah, she had a little bachelor's degree and all of that, but man, she a fucking 38-year-old bitch, ain't got no kids, just a fucking hoe. I mean, she didn't have like whole tendencies or nothing like that, but anytime a woman is 38 years old, she ain't got no kids, and she just got a kind of attitude, that bitch ain't trying to do nothing in life. So you can imagine where the conversation went when I talked to her earlier today. I was glad she wanted to find an excuse to get off the phone, because I was definitely ready to get off the phone. Okay? Just old slacker ass bitch. But I guarantee she'll end up on online dating at some point. Because let me explain something to you. A lot of women love to waste time. And then they look out here on the landscape and they're 50, then they're 60, then they're 70, and they're still alone. And some of you guys had the same mentality that these women have, but toward about men, you have that mentality about finding a career to get into. You really do think you got time to sit up here on your dead ass and do nothing. Like I said, you got some of you niggas 25 years old and you ain't figured out what you want to do in life, and you sleeping on a racing car bed in the same fucking room you grew up in your mama's house. You ain't making any progress, and you ain't got shit to show for your fucking miserable, pathetic life. But then you want to sit up here and criticize me for doing my own thing. See, this is going to be the same nigga who's going to be washing Hunky McGee's drawers, and then he going to be going on YouTube trying to find the Iceman's video to help get inspired. Well, there ain't going to be no videos for you to get inspired, dude. All the videos that's going to be left up are videos where you getting your ass kicked, like on these videos. Ain't no funny videos going to be left for you. Those videos are for paid subscribers. And by the way, when we do this thing, when we set up this program to pay off your child support, if you're not a paid subscriber, monthly subscriber, you ain't getting shit. Okay? You little fake ass broke niggas that want to come around and check to see if I got a video, and then you're going to listen to it. Well, you only listen to the videos I let you listen to. You ain't listening to none of the really good videos where I'm dropping knowledge or I'm being comedic. Okay? You ain't going to get access to those videos and those lectures unless you fucking pay. If you don't do the PayPal dance, you don't get no Watusi. That's how this shit works. Okay? So all you little slick ass niggas that think, oh, the Iceman, since we ain't gonna pay to see his shit, he gonna start putting his shit up on YouTube again. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. You can ask my paid subscribers. I put videos up. You just don't have access to them. And they're on Ustream. Okay? But they get access to them. You don't. Because you ain't paying. But you're going to give EA Sports, the people who make Madden 25, you're going to give them your hard-earned Foot Locker money. Your little weak-ass check you get every 2 weeks. You're going to give them all your money. You're going to go over there and give AMC Theater all your fucking money that goes take some bitch to the movies that won't even touch your dick. Okay? You over there at Morton Steakhouse spending money on bitches, and you ain't finna get no pussy. So what this thing comes down to, brothers and sisters, is that the haves are gonna get more haves, and the have-nots are gonna get less, and they gonna keep getting have-nots. That's how this shit works. And let me explain something to you. I'm high up on the food chain because of my education. Yeah, you can talk all the shit you want. Oh man, Iceman, man, you the antithesis of the black man. No, I'm not. Yeah, I consider myself to be part of the talented 10. But I'm trying to give you information so you can make it up here. I'm not going to give you a hand. I'm gonna open up, I'm gonna put a crack in the door, and if the smart niggas are gonna push that door open and come through, all you niggas that's thinking somebody owe you something because you unemployed, or you poor, or you dropped out of high school, or you dropped out of college and didn't get a degree like the smart niggas did. Hey man, ain't nobody gonna reach back and help your sorry ass. You wouldn't say thank you even if we did do it. But at least I'm putting videos and lectures up that can help you get out of condition you're in, and then you're going to try to spit in my face? You're going to try to shit on me? Well, I'm unsubbing. Well, unsub then, you silly ass nigga. See if I come chasing after your monkey loser ass. These videos and lectures are for the brothers and sisters who are actually trying to do something. Maybe they're frustrated. Maybe they need just a little kick in the butt for them to get out there and get something going. Whereas you, on the other hand, you have nothing to contribute to yourself or to your people. But yet you think somebody gonna sit around and listen to you complain. That's why every time you silly ass niggas leave a comment talking about, oh man, the Iceman, mumble mouth nigga, he up here talking bullshit. We ain't finna fuck with the Iceman no more. You know what? Let me explain something to you. Bye. Bye, nigga. Bye. Ain't nobody chasing after your silly ass. But your ass is going to be one of the main niggas sitting up here begging niggas like me for a hand and for a handout. And you know what we going to say? Go fuck yourself. It's just like one of my frat brothers who's a publisher and an author. He sent me something talking about, frat, I just came from the grocery store and there was a whole family out there, a whole black family out there big. Let me explain something to y'all. That's any man or woman who will be out there like that begging, they ain't got no dignity. And one of the main reasons black people, some of you brothers and sisters, some of you black people are in the condition you're in is because you have wasted too much time and you don't have a plan. And even if you do have a plan, it doesn't include accountability. Basically, what you want to do is have people like me who have toiled their asses off and have worked hard. You want me to reach back and give you a free handout just because we black. That's even more reason for me to leave your sorry ass behind. So while you sit up there in your auntie's basement or her attic, or you living in your mama house, or you living with your brother or your sister and eating off their fucking plates for free, they kids are sitting up there wondering why a old ass fucking woman, their aunt, is living with her sister, their mama, and she don't have no fucking job, and she laying up there with her fucking kids, eating for free. Okay? Or they wondering why their uncle with his sorry 30-year-old ass don't have a fucking job and he's sitting up here eating off the same plates that his nieces and nephews are eating off of. Sitting up there taking up space and taking people for granted who love you. But then you're going to sit up here and try to criticize the Iceman? Go fuck yourself. You tune into the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. Be on the lookout for You Gotta Wash Your Ass by this weekend. Female simps. And the weak ass niggas that love them. And stop whining about black women. You tune into the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. Holler at your boy.